that we spend, because like probably most of you, I feel privileged in being able to do that because like most of you, I know people who expect to be sent to prison, and they may get some programming in prison, but ultimately they wind up back in the community. Dramatic changes in their lives that we're all proud of today, and I'm so happy to be a part of that. And so I want to thank Judge Sandy for asking me if I was interested in taking this over, and I want to thank the other panelists that are a member of our treatment court panel. Sitting to my left here, we have Travis Johnson, the Clay County attorney, and Rebecca Kern is also an assistant Clay County attorney. They're the prosecutors in our treatment court. Jack Bornstead is the defense attorney in our treatment court. Probation officer Kelsey Allen, our substance abuse professional Jan Tingle, and most importantly, I want to thank the citizen members of our panel who give their time, their insight, and the different perspectives that those of us who are in the criminal justice system don't necessarily have. And we appreciate the time and the insight that they do give, and I think they offer us a deeper understanding of the needs and the tools that are available in the communities that can help people that are participating in the drug treatment program. And so those folks are Candace Daniels, Jody Halverson, Megan Hanges, Nicholas Hanges, Chuck Illig, Aaron Tekin, and Randy Van Dyke. And I'd also like to thank Richard Gordon, who's here tonight, who's the state treatment coordinator. So we appreciate all of the input that those folks have in our treatment court and the assistance that they provide. I think it's important for our first graduation to have the folks that have been here from the beginning. As I said, I've been doing this about a year, but this program has been up and running for 2 years, and it's people to my left here this evening who have been a big part in getting this program running and getting us to where we are today. And so our first speaker that we're going to have is the Clay County Attorney, Travis Johnson. Travis is the only person up here not wearing a robe. I think probably some other people agree with me that he ought to be wearing a robe. But Travis is super modest about himself and his talents. Travis has been a prosecutor for 20 years. He's been a Clay County attorney since 2020. I didn't know him before I applied to become a district associate judge 7 years ago. And he was one of the candidates at that time, and he was one of 2 other people who went forward with me to determine who would get the appointment. As I said, I didn't know him, I didn't know anything about him, but I was fortunate enough to get the appointment. And after that appointment, I worked regularly with him here in Clay County. And after seeing how good he is at his job, it made me feel even more accomplished for having gotten the appointment, because I appreciate how good he is and how good of a candidate he was at that time. And even more important than that, he's one of the kindest and most decent people I've had the good fortune to meet in the legal practice. So, Travis Johnson.
For those of you that don't know, before he started speaking, Christy leaned over to me, who I've worked with many years, and said, "Travis, don't cry. Okay, just don't cry." And that introduction almost made me cry. Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that. All right. I was told also to get the microphone a little bit closer.
Thank you.
So I'm supposed to give an introduction about how drug court got started, what it means to this community. As Judge Smith said, it was Judge Sandy that got this all started. I did want to correct Judge Smith on one thing. He said that it's part of his job to do drug court and be here. It's not. He volunteers his time to do this. There's no requirement that any judges show up and start a program or follow through. and devote the hours that they do outside and above and beyond all their other responsibilities. He does this, as do the other judges that are on the bench up here. They do it because they care. They do it because they've done the research and see how much this program can do for a community and can do for the people that are fortunate enough to become a part of it. So thanks to all of you, particularly Judge Sandy, who in the spring of 2022 called me in my office and said, "Hey Travis, I have an idea. Do you know what drug court is?" Yeah, I know a thing or two about it. I would like to start. See, we need a district court judge in order to begin a program like that. So to get that phone call was pivotal, and it started this entire program, not only for us here in Clay County, but for all the people that do it up in Dickinson as well. So thank you, Judge Sandy, for all your efforts in getting this started, for the vision, for the passion you brought to it that has gotten us all on board and gotten us both moving. After that call, we wanted to make sure that we put forth the best program that we possibly could. Christy Bussey was an assistant Clay County attorney at the time, and she was all in on it from the get-go. She met with Kelsey Collins from the Department of Correctional Services. We thought, we want to send you to the best training that we can, and they had one down in Texas. It was about a week to 10-day training, and we had the idea to use Clay County's opioid money that we got from some of the opioid settlements to go ahead and fund their trip there and that training program. And that's been pivotal. It's really got us off on the right foot to make sure we're doing everything we can to make sure that this program is the best that it can be for the people here, so that we give them the absolute best chance of success going forward. And I think we've done that. As part of the program, if you are fortunate enough to get into the program, it's not easy. The stuff that these guys have done pales all of my accomplishments. I think back to all the trials and tribulations I've had in my life, and then I hear some of their stories, and it's amazing what you guys have accomplished. The things I've had to overcome are nothing compared to what most of these people have done and what they have overcome to get where they are today. So I'd like to give you all a brief round of applause if we could. So, drug court. I said it's a lot of hard work. They have weekly drug testing. It's up to Kelsey when she does that, but especially in the early parts of it, it's going to be at least weekly. There's near daily text messages from Kelsey asking, "Hey, how are you doing? Are you up? Did you go to that job interview? How's work going? Did you make it to your substance abuse treatment? Are you doing AA classes?" Oftentimes, she'll just stop into their houses to see how they're doing. Surprise calls. For all the people in the community that come in to help with the program, we meet with them every other Tuesday. We all have dinner together, and their lives are an open book, and that can be very difficult. It can be humbling, it can be difficult to open up about some of the dark things that they've had to face. We have two rules in drug court. One, that you show up, and number two, that you be honest. Okay? There are going to be trips along the way. There are going to be trip-ups. There are going to be people that delve back into use. They might lose a job. They might not be budgeting the way that we've been planning for them to budget. Those things are all expected. But as long as you show up and you're truthful, you'll be successful when you get through this. I promised I'd only be about 5 minutes, so I'm not going to take too much more time here. I wanted to share with you a text message I got from Brady just here in the last week, and I got his permission to go ahead and share this. So it was pretty impactful. I will tell you, the work that I do, I make decisions daily about what should happen in people's lives. Hey, should this guy go to prison? Should this person be granted some grace and be given street probation? Should they get a deferred judgment? How's the victim going to feel if this is the proper resolution? I lose a lot of sleep. This program, though, has gotten me through a lot. Okay, a lot of those sleepless nights I have, when I get done with drug court every other Tuesday night, that's a good night's rest, because I go to bed knowing, hey, this is the right thing. Everything we're doing here is the right thing. I don't have any questions. But here's a text message I got from Grady at 5:41 in the morning. He was up getting ready for work. Hey, good morning, Travis. Just thought I'd mention to you that I seen in Northern Iowa today that one of my old drug buddies, Virgil Creans, got busted with over 3 pounds of meth and some heavy artillery. I'm so grateful for you and Kelsey and the drug court team, and that I am not involved in that stuff anymore. He will probably do the rest of his life in federal prison. And my last drug dealer at the end of his time shot himself in the head because he got busted and was on his way to federal prison as well. He was 67 years old. So grateful, so grateful. Have a good day. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of all the work that you've done. I'm proud of this community. I'm proud to be a part of Clay County and Spencer. Just to see the outpouring of support for all of these people that comes from the community, people that are volunteering their time for something greater than themselves. So I'm very proud to be a county attorney. I'm very proud to be a member of this community because of things like that. Most of all, I'm proud of you guys for all the hard work, for sticking this out. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for giving me at least one thing that I do every day that I know without any doubt is the right thing. So, thank you.
Apologize if people haven't been able to hear me until now. Sorry. Not used to using a microphone. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate that. I think a lot of what he says is very accurate. Most of what I spend my day doing is looking at something that happened in the past and trying to figure out how to sort it out. And when I do figure that out, everybody who's involved in that incident winds up mad at me, which I can take, except I'm not, in that day and day, I'm not doing anything that is in any way improving that incident that happened in the past. And so I come on a Tuesday and can be a part of this panel and feel like even though mostly it's the work of the folks here to the right and the work of the panelists, I can feel like I'm part of making a difference or making improvements in people's lives. So thank you, Travis. I appreciate you and your office's support of this program. Next up, as mentioned by Travis, is now Judge Christy Bussey, who at the outset of this program was the prosecutor who was involved in getting it set up, getting it going, getting it to the place where we can have this graduation today. Judge Bussey was a Clay County attorney and an assistant in the office for a number of years. She prosecuted criminal matters and handled juvenile court matters. She was appointed as district associate judge late in 2024, and she's done a fantastic job in that position. She is one of those people who you don't really have a full understanding of exactly how much work it is that they're doing until they're not there doing that work anymore. I have been trying to hold on to the reins of this thing that she and Judge Sandy got going, and she had working very smoothly when she was appointed to the district associate judge position last December. And as soon as she left, it seemed like it got out of control. I couldn't quite hold on to those reins because she was enrolled and get stuff for us and all of that. And so we had a lot of hiccups after she left, and we're trying to recover still, but we appreciate all that she's done for us. And in 3 weeks, she'll be substituting for me, so I expect that when I come back in 5 weeks, it'll all be perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, Judge Christy Bussey.
Thank you for all the kind words. I have kind of said that the Clay County Drug Court Program I kind of thought was my baby. The attention a little bit to the four of you. I thought for a second you were going to try to make a run for it. Just sit tight. I know you're so Kathy, Terry, Ashley, and Brady. Congratulations. I had the sincere pleasure to serve as the prosecutor on the Clay County Drug Court with you all, and the honor of returning to serve as the judge there on rare occasions. The first time I went back, one of the participants went, "You're the judge?" No. Thank you. Good to be back. It's a great group of people. I'm so proud of all of you. You all have worked on accountability, you've learned new skills, you've gained new hobbies, and most importantly, in your recovery journey, found new places and new people to grow with. And some of those, well, okay, I'm gonna back up. My comment to Travis was very self-serving because I knew if he started crying, it was gonna be a domino effect. I'm probably not gonna make it through, but some of those people that you found to grow with are ones that I know that you never expected to have in your corner. Looking out at everyone that's here tonight, that's gathered to celebrate you, it reflects the support that I hope you feel in the community. There's a lot of people pulling for you, many of which you don't even know. As a panel, we talked in general terms about you all to our family and to our friends. And you all have so many more people cheering for you than you could ever imagine. My daughter made bracelets for each of you. She's proud of each of you. Others have been praying for you, offering to help with meals for meetings, providing donations for incentives that we use, or simply sharing good words about the program. And it is an amazing program. I love the opportunity that it provides. I love the people that it's brought together. And again, a shout out to all the incredible volunteers that serve on the panel over the past 2.5 years. And especially tonight, we get to celebrate. I love the results that we see. And those results are not easy, and they don't happen overnight.
Outward. To your families, to your children, to this community. You carry hope for those who still struggle in the shadows. You remind them that change is possible, that tomorrow can be different than yesterday, and that no one is beyond that redemption. So as you take this next step, carry with you both humility and pride. Humility to know that recovery is a life, and as Mate puts, the opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is not sobriety. It's connection. It's connection. That's what makes us human, is connection. To say, I don't know you, but I love you. Because you are. Today you stand connected to your families, to your community, to one another.
In order to present Terry, we have our substance abuse provider on the panel, Jan Pingle. It's been my pleasure to work with Jan previously in the family treatment courts in Buena Vista County, and also in several different attempts to try to get the involuntary commitment process for substance abusers to work more smoothly. It's been a pleasure to work with her in this to the participants and can provide some guidance to us on how to best try to try to encourage.
Well, I'm not sure whose idea it was to put me first following Judge Sandy, but that really sucks. Anyway, Judge Sandy is actually the person who recruited me to assist with drug court. I got a phone call from him and I'm like, uh-oh, now what? What did I do? And then he showed up at my office with this beautiful treat of this baguette bread. I didn't have the heart to tell him that I'm gluten-free and couldn't eat it anymore. No ribs for me. Anyway, it's been my pleasure to work with drug court. I've been a substance abuse counselor for 8, so it's really nice that we can share it. And certainly in 18 years, I've lost a lot of clients. You know, it's not always a winning situation. I just want to piggyback a little bit on what Judge Sandy said. You know, one of the things for all of us is we have to learn to change the question, because all too often people get the question like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why don't you quit? What's wrong with you? Why can't you get better? What's wrong with you? And it's really, like Dr. Mate said, the question is what's happened? What's happened in your life that leads you to this? And so if we can get people to switch that question, it really does help. So about Terry. So I met Terry right before I started working with drug court. He had been in drug court for a while at that point, and wasn't doing so well at that point. Even though Judge Sandy told him every other week how much he loved him, he was still struggling. But one thing that was always clear about Terry was how much his family meant to him and how much he loved them. And so it was really interesting and heartening to see him slowly change, slowly embrace the process, and start to actually work at changing and getting better. And then in therapy, we have something we call radical acceptance. All of us, and it doesn't matter what we're talking about, when we're talking about change, you know, we can know something up here, and it's like, yeah, I know, yeah, I need to do this, I need to do that, yeah, I know. Radical acceptance is when that very long distance from your head to your heart, and you go, okay, I got it. And with Terry, unfortunately, it was after a very difficult loss for him and his family, that he came in right after, and as we're talking, just looked very quiet, but that radical acceptance of, I'm done. I'm just done. It's caused too much pain. It's time for me to be done. And that was the journey. That was the first step. And he's done wonderfully since then. And what's been really interesting for me to watch is, again, he's all about family. And in the first part of the journey, his family was trying to help him. When he found that motivation for his recovery, it's been really wonderful to see him turn into the leader, now helping his family, and being a real mentor to them, and really challenging them to make the changes they need, or just giving them the support that they need, being a leader. So it's been an honor to be on the journey with you. I'm very proud of you.
Congratulations. Want to say anything, Terry? him talking afterwards, he will. Our next graduate is Kathy. Kathy's just an amazing representative of this region court. No matter how difficult things get for her, what she has to overcome, she meets it head on and is up for any challenge. And she shows that week in and week out. So we've been super proud of her. Here to speak about and introduce Kathy will be Candace Daniels, one of our citizen panel members. Candace seems to be the person most picking up the slack for Judge Bussey, as she is coming up with ideas for how to make this work better, bringing things into the program, providing great insight, always has helpful advice for the participants. So here to introduce Kathy, Candace Daniels.
I wasn't the high school valedictorian, so I'm pretending right now, so just go with me. Okay, so I brought this book up as well, and it's Let Them. And Mel Robbins in her book, Let Them, recalls an addiction specialist once saying, "No one gets sober until being drunk or high is more painful than facing the thing you're running from." And when we first met Kathy over 2 years ago, she was definitely running. She was running from a past filled with toxic and abusive relationships, a life operating in pure survival and defensive techniques. And as we've mentioned, when we meet our clients, the judge explains to them to show up and be honest, and that seems so absolutely simple to most of us. But when you've been living in survival mode for so long and haven't had a lot of trusting, healthy relationships, it's one of the absolute hardest things to do. In the book, Mel also explains, don't shield them from consequences of what they choose. You owe people love, acceptance, and compassion. And like our own children, it's sometimes hard to watch choices being made when you know they'll have consequences, and being on the drug court panel is no different. It is super challenging. Occasionally you're disappointed, but overall, you are so incredibly proud. And when I think of Kathy, I am so incredibly proud. Kathy, you can't see under that gown, is very small. But she didn't go down without a fight. After weeks of showing up, still actively using and trying to tell us what we wanted to hear, we eventually convinced her to attend inpatient therapy. And when Kathy came back, it was such a change. She was over 100 pounds, so we had to help find her some new clothes. That was the first thing. In Mel's book, she says, look at people's struggles as an opportunity to support them in discovering their strengths. With Kathy, we've been through many moves. At one point, a garage was an option. At one point, the Discovery House was an option, the only option. And I'm happy to say now that Kathy has her own apartment. Just a second. We've been through job changes, job loss, unemployment, and job interviews. And I'm happy to report that Kathy has held a job for quite some time now, and we are absolutely super grateful to that place for taking Kathy and teaching her all the things that we teach as well. We've seen Kathy's health struggles. We visited Kathy in the ER. We've seen her through a couple of surgeries. She hasn't had it always easy, but she's learned that showing up to work, even when you don't feel 100%, as long as you're not contagious, is really important. I've sat with Kathy and we've made envelopes together for her bills. We've determined what's the most important bill to pay first. The struggle continues with the flipping storage unit. You knew I'd bring it up. But she's working so hard on it, and it is hard to get rid of all of your stuff, especially when you have so much ditched stuff. The book finally says your job is to stand by their side and hold the light high, be a beacon of hope, believe in their ability to get better. The real Kathy showed up when she came back from inpatient, and we really, really liked the new Kathy. Kathy that you see here today is over 2 years clean. She is funny, and she is witty. I once offered to give her a makeover and including makeup, and she looked at me, which I obviously wear makeup, and she says, I don't wear fake up. She's determined and persistent. I never lose sleep with Kathy about maintaining sobriety. It's just part of her identity now, and it's non-negotiable for her. And we all will never forget her persistence in having Judge Sandy make her ribs. She wasn't going to let him forget. And we all remember the ribs were the bomb. I'm closing here. Kathy, I'll close with this excerpt from the book. No matter what happens around you, you decide how it'll affect you. Think of the sky, no matter what it brings, no matter how it changes, you are the one who gets to decide how to navigate beneath it. You are the one who gets to choose how to respond, how to act, and how to live. The clouds, the storms, the sunshine, they all have their place, but they do not define you. You define yourself. My hope to you, Kathy, but actually to all of you, is that you never forget that storms and even floods will come and go, but so will the sunshine, and you can be the sunshine each and every day. Thank you so much for trusting us, and thank you for showing up. I've learned so much from all of you, and we couldn't be any more proud of you. Thank you.
I said I wasn't going to do this, but I did it. I want to thank everybody who showed up on my behalf. My bosses, thank you for showing up and thank you for being there for me. Thank you, neighborly, for showing up and for being there for me. I couldn't do it without you. For her Max for being there for me through thick and thin, thank you. I want to thank his family for being there for me. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you to my fellow members of the crew. Thank you for being there for me. And the panel members for being there for me. Thank you for showing up and for dedicating your time. I appreciate it. And thank you for showing up, Brianna. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for everybody for showing up and supporting us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. We all appreciate you. Congratulations. Our next graduate is Ashley. I first met Ashley a few years ago under different circumstances. She probably didn't like me very much then.
First one, right?
The first one, yeah. Yeah, she's the only one so far. And at that time, I didn't have any reason to believe that she'd be in this position today. Not because I didn't think she could do it, but she just didn't appear to have the will to do it at that time. And so I wish I could take any responsibility for what happened, but Ashley came into this program with a plan and a purpose and goals and lists every week about what she was doing, and that's led her here today, so I can't take much credit at all for that. But here to introduce Ashley is our probation officer, Kelsey Cowens. Kelsey is emblematic of what a probation officer is supposed to be. I think when you... Okay. You're on the stick. Oh, okay. All right. Chuck, here to speak on behalf of Ashley. Chuck Illy, one of our panel members who probably Ashley didn't like very much at the same time she didn't like me. I think maybe she likes us both better. I'm sure she likes Chuck better. Chuck is one of our citizen panel members on treatment courts. Again, he provides a good insight. He spent years with the Department of Health and Human Services, specializing in cases that involve substance abuse. And he brings a lot of insight from that. So we're glad to have him as part of our panel and can provide some different perspective for everything. So here to speak on behalf of, to present Ashley, Chuck Gillett.
I was thinking I had to run out and get a book. Everybody's got their book. As Judge Smith said, Ashley and I probably knew each other off and on for 5 years. And Ashley, you gotta correct me if I say anything wrong here. Okay, Ashley may not believe this, but Ashley was always one of my favorites. She just was. I can remember pretty distinctly the first time I met her. We'd sit in her apartment, we'd sit at a table. She always has a giggle to herself. She just was this bubbly, bright, intelligent lady. She has 3 children, and some of them had special needs. And I know the first couple of times I left the apartment, I was just always so amazed at the energy it must take. Can I tell them a little bit about the boys? So, I'd be sitting at the table talking with Ashley, and pretty soon the middle one's jumping on the bed naked. Parker would go to his room, and he wouldn't want to open the door. And, I need to see the children when I come do it. Ashley would kind of help me and walk me through it. But there was, unfortunately, the disease of addiction. And I'm a firm believer that it's a disease. You can't court order diabetes out of somebody. You can't shave diabetes out of somebody. Someone that has heart problems, you can't sanction it out of it. It's a process. And I'm still just completely overwhelmed that where Ashley is at. I just can't tell you how proud I am of her. And it was a struggle. And I think Judge Smith was right. I'm surprised that I'm standing here presenting her and she doesn't have both of her hands around my neck. Thank you for that, Ashley. Yeah. But Ashley is all 4 of you, but Ashley has a special place in my heart. That she is sitting here, and I am now seeing the person that I saw 7 years ago sitting at that small table in her apartment. And, I need to apologize for Ashley for what I didn't do to help her. Things I should have done different or could have done different. And so I'm sorry if there was things that I could have done better to help. But the good news is Ashley has her children. She sees them. She's in their life. She sees them all the time. And I didn't think that probably would ever be possible either. So the rest of you in drug court, these 4 are a great example. And again, even when things happen, even when you may lose your children, even in your worst of times, you don't throw in the towel. Because Ashley's a perfect example. I know Brady has a relationship with his children. I know Terry, who took me fishing for crappie in a farm pond one Saturday with my boys. And Kathy has a relationship with her son. Keep fighting. It can be done. I think the panelists, the graduates, actually should be talking to all of us instead of us guys trying to talk. So Ashley, I'm so happy. I'm just so proud of you, and keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
I'm feeling pretty good to get this today. I came along. My voice is usually loud. Thanks, Chuck, for everything you said. I think everybody on this panel knew me from probably maybe just okay. So I'm really glad that I got to know all of you and you got to see a better version of me. Yeah, just thank everybody. Thank everything.
Thank you, Ashley, and congratulations. And I'm glad that Chuck and I got to see you under very different circumstances. We're both proud of the progress, as are all the panelists. Our final graduate is Brady. Brady's got that same personality, sort of. When Judge Sandy asked me if I'd be interested in taking over, I sat in on a few of his sessions and then was just trying to get myself ready and get things figured out. And to a certain extent, I'm still trying to get things figured out. But when I started, Brady wasn't even showing up. He was in Iowa City for family reasons, and so I didn't know him. I hadn't met him, didn't know anything about him. All I knew was what I heard from the panel, and what I heard from the panel, I thought, oh no. But when Brady finally showed up, again, I wish I could take credit, but Brady just showed up, made steady progress, met every challenge, exceeded every expectation. All he's done since I've seen him is move forward. And he's talking about stuff today that he's continuing to move forward. And I have no doubt that that's going to be his path from here on out. And I appreciate having met him and the progress that he's made. Here to introduce Brady is again Pastor Nicholas Hanges. Like I said, one of our citizen panel members. I appreciate Pastor Nicholas's insight, the kind words that he has, the selfless assistance that he provides to people on the panel. He goes above and beyond to help everyone that's a participant in treatment courts, and we appreciate all that he does on our panel. So, Pastor Nicholas.
Brady likes to talk, so I'm not going to talk much. And he's fun to listen to. The most insight I have is not as a pastor, it's as someone still in recovery from addiction and still struggling with mental health nearly every day. If anything, it's just an honor to not only get to sit with like judges and officials and also community, but we have the honor of sitting at the table with people like you. So, and seeing your lives change. Transformation is the only thing that I can say I've witnessed. When I first heard Brady talking about where he was from and how much he used to use and probably distribute, I I was amazed, and then I did a Google search, and I was even more amazed. And I thought, wow, what can God do with someone with such a rough past? What he can do is change, transform, and like I said in the prayer, he uses people to do that. And this community is a special place. Out of all the places, Spencer, it's a place where even drug addicts and people who commit crimes can come to a program like Drug Court and not feel judged, and not feel like outcasts, and have encouragement spoken into their lives. And that's what happened to Brady. He had encouragement from people, not just on the panel. Many of you here are very humble, in the background kind of people who have been serving and ministering to Brady on the side, whether it's through vacation or just seeing him on the street, maybe pulling up to a stop sign on his electric bike and not stopping. But with grace, they overlook those mistakes. Yeah, now he has to throw the car. My goodness. Please stop at the stop sign. Brady, as he'll probably say, is carrying a heavy weight of years of meth and alcohol and many other addictions. Criminal charges. Began using at 12. And for 22 months, you've been clean. And he's obtained resources from people in this community. And yet, the church, of course, the church stretches beyond the walls of the church that we work for. Because many people here represent different churches, and many who don't even go to church according to their life, just because they see the Brady who is made in the image of God and the potential you have. That potential is realized in who he is. He is a leader now, someone who led people into dark places, now leads them into light places. Somebody who once lied and stole, now tells the truth and gives. He's always willing to serve. He's always willing to talk. But he does so with his smile, and he does so clean and sober. And I look forward to seeing what God's going to continue to do through you, Brady. We've watched him build good routines and good habits to replace the old ones, and restore the family that he came in hoping to be restored. That's already happening. You're a good dad and a good brother. You're a good brother to me and a good friend, so I appreciate you. Congratulations.
Take it from her. Hi, I'm Brady Hunt.
Hi, Brady.
From Hampton, Iowa, by Mason City. Don't go there. If you're a kid out there in the streets, don't do drugs, don't drink. Even if your friends are doing them, get away from them because you'll like them. And that's what happens. It starts out fun, and it ends up a nightmare. I thought for sure, 100%, I was going for 5 years and would not see my kids. And I had people in this community reach out, and I don't know, it's probably the Lord, it's the Lord that saved me here. I have so much to say, and I'm going to get cut off, as I always do. But drug court is so much different than I thought it would be. I've heard so many horrible stories about drug court in another county, and how they just throw you in jail and blah, 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 blah. Well, it's not like that here. They're here to help. And I even said I would join them and help also. I want to go to the schools and talk to the kids and let them know that they're no different than I, and I am no different than them. It's been a long road, but the past 2 years have been the best 2 years. I don't have to worry. I got a little bit of brain damage, can't remember. But I got to thank everybody here. I really did. I thought, and Kelsey, I can't. The best PO ever. Sir. It's easy to be honest with her. She understands, she cares, she asks. Most of them are like that. Most of them are like, in the cup. All right, you're going to jail. So, I like my life now. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm driving legally for the first time. 6 months legally, maybe. But I love playing racquetball with Travis, Tom here. Man, I love everybody in here. So, and the people that drove here to see me graduate drug court, my family, and even the ones I don't know, I love you too. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys.
No wonder everybody's squinting.
What?
I'm just gonna say really quick. My name is Kelsey Collins. I'm the drug court probation officer with the Department of Corrections, and this job is like the honor of my life. Working with the clients has been absolutely amazing, and there are times in this profession that you feel like pounding your head against the wall a lot.
I tried that.
But then there are days like today, and there are successes, and there are milestones of sobriety, and it makes it all work. So I just have a quick, I have a card for each of you from the panel. There's a gift card in all of them to the Prime Rib. We figured might be. Take somebody with you and go eat someplace you might not normally eat. I also have, if you're a part of the 12-step community, there's coins or tokens or keychains or things like that. So I have two coins. One of them is Iowa Treatment Court, says graduate on it. The other one says where treatment and justice meet, and on the back of it it says change your attitude, change your thinking, change your behavior. And so I just to give these to you guys to put in your pocket.
Oh, I thought you were going to go there.
You will not.
Sure,
Thank you all so much for your hard work.
As I started to say earlier, before I realized that the program changed a little bit, I echo with what Brady said about Kelsey. Kelsey is emblematic of what a probation officer is supposed to be. They're supposed to be somebody that takes clients on and that gets to know and understand those clients, what they need, what the best path for rehabilitation is for them, and then help them find the tools to get them on that path and make sure they're continuing to progress. And so Kelsey regularly goes above and beyond in doing that. So we appreciate her services with the treatment court panel and all that she does with the participants. So I want to thank all of you for joining us this evening. As I said, it's a pretty joyful evening for us, and I'd ask if we can all just give a collective round of applause to our four graduates. We couldn't be more proud of the progress that you've made. And from my perspective, all the work that's gone into it would be worth it, even if it was just these four graduates. But I'm sure that we're going to have other graduates in the not too distant future and have other good nights like this. And I know that these four graduates today understand that there's nothing in this world that they can't overcome and that they can't do if they set their minds to it. And I hope and expect that they will come back as they have provided assistance to other participants in this drug court. I hope that they provide their assistance, guidance, and insight to the current and future participants in this drug court. So thank you all. Sign out. Thank you.
Did you message me? I was like, so you're involved with drug treatment course. I didn't know that sometimes. Hi. It was literally like, I don't know what I was like,
I couldn't figure out where you took it.
oh, really? I mean, I wrote the qualitative person in the institute.
I don't know what's going on.
Excessive notes. Well, and actually, my boss said to me,
Yeah, I
like the inside on our like group chat. Pretty good size.
Yes, I don't know.
He's like, we really should work more in that space, but we haven't.
How about you?
I was like, well, I'm going.
I actually just reached out to Kelsey not too long ago and said, hey,
Nicole?
yeah.
I know.
I just reached out to Kelsey and said, hey, we have the openings for my back in the field.
Styling, huh? So how's your dog doing? Good. Good. She's probably mad we're gone.
Don't go near.
We went up to the lake. Brady jumped in. Said, bring her out the end of the dock, Dad, and throw her in. So I throw her in. She sunk. She went down about this far. She didn't know how to use her back paw. She paddled with her front paw, just like this. She's madder than heck at me. But she swam to the shore high. Is Mom snuck out already? I don't know. She was sitting right next to me. Never met her. You were never proud of her.